Hey everybody, so this is where I'm gonna tell you that this is a fast kill time of M4s, but the thing is, I should probably tell you what I use, what I technically want to use here in M4s as a Sage, because the fact that I don't want to really sit here and not give you guys any type of healing guide because I'm a healer main, and some people will probably I wonder where the healing guide is going to come in because I'm looking up many POVs and they all do different things. Well, I want to start with this fight particularly, and then I'm gonna move on to like the other fights just to make sure that everybody is on the same level as how I'm explaining how to mitigate, how to heal, how to do this, how to do that, so you don't have to do that much work, right? Including when the other healer's not doing anything, then you will know, and everybody else will know because they see two things out. You're popping, and you should be fine most of the time. So yeah. So let's go ahead and let's get straight into it. So boom, we go ahead and start this pull off. So this pull, we're gonna go ahead and do our caracol before the raid wipe happens. I did my opener wrong during this time because this was kind of the old me, but we tend to learn and grow. Okay, we tend to learn and grow. But as long as your psych comes back on your 1 minute and you use your psych as how you use your plegma, you should be fine, right? Okay. So now we get into our witch hunt. Make sure you also, for your pre-pull, make sure you shield, please. Because we don't want to drop super low just because you didn't shield on the countdown. So here I teleport to the white mage. Technically I'll fly over to the white mage, not teleport, but same thing. Right? Holos, Caracol for the bird dropping down people. Right? Everybody take damage for free. Boom, that's all nice and all. Let's go ahead and keep going. And now we get into the actual witch hunt, which is the out and out, right? Close, far, right? So this is gonna be amazing. So here I do suggest shielding if you want to shield, just to make sure nobody gets high rolled or die because of the fact they don't have enough eye level. But due to the fact that everybody has eye level in this party, we should be fine on health wise. Boom, shield, caracol for this raid wide. Not that bad. As long as you do you're always on your correct timing, it should come back on the good timing as well. For the next heavy hitting damage for the raid. Okay, now we got EE1. So of course it's A and C. So this is where I say once the cast bar is done for the first one, you go ahead and caracol. Actually do her side cleave with stack or spread, doesn't really matter. Alright, that's done. Boom. And now we got EE2 coming. So be prepared for that. I do suggest shielding. Because, if you don't trust the healer, you shield here. If you do, then you don't shield here. You caracol, you shield after the electric protein goes to players. And then you pancardia as late as you can. Not too late to the part where you didn't pancardia at all. So this is the first time to pancardia. Boom, right now. And they got it. Everybody got it. Nice. So that means that you get the DPS the whole way through. Wow, throwing out a single GCD heal. But the thing is, I threw it out because, playing safe is nice. But I could have Isis 2 during the first round. And then let the Pancardia do his work, but no. So during this multi-stack, I do Caracol into shields. Well, shields into Caracol doesn't matter as long as, people get their shields. Right? And everybody should be max HP during this cannon phase because this is where we're going to take damage for free. We could almost dodge it and not take damage from it, but we still going to take damage from it, so it doesn't really matter. I shield here just to get my Toxion's back, and then we go ahead and get out that spot. So here it's kind of weird. So like, casting here is kind of weird because, she flies over you by teleporting and then interrupts your cast. So yeah, I did what I had to do. And then for the first round, I do shield and holos, which is amazing. And then we heal up. And then the second round, we do Panheima into shields. Right? And then we Caracol on the perfect timing. Boom. Now the regions is up and everything. And then I use shield here. And then the Caracol should be here still, because we used it on the debuff for the second round. Should reach for the third round because it's 15 seconds. Long 15 seconds to be exact. And then it reached for the last debuff, which is amazing. Caracol timing that I did there, I'm going to use that more often because, we need to take 10% less damage than that, than before, than whatever. Anyway, I'm not even going to try that. I stopped. So here I use my Cardia play here. I always play my Cardia of whoever has aggro, just so they don't take that much damage, just so I don't have to heal that much, or throw out OGCD that much, because we need the OGC just in case players make mistakes, because we're the mistake healers that basically correct people on their mistakes. So on the third Protean, we do our Caracol and then we move back. Okay, we ain't shielding here because it's free to not shield there. You just Caracol, call it a day. 10% mitigation is really nice. It will come back for the transition, don't worry. I'm going to show you how. I'm going to show you in video. So here I do FFXIV and regular shields to heal everybody back up. You don't use the Zoe, please. Please do not use the Zoe. On the second Protean, I do suggest Pot Dare because it will reach. And now Zoe, but don't use the shield yet until everybody takes damage. Boom, everybody takes damage. That means I don't have to do nothing much. Heal everybody up. Zoe shield, holos into Caracol. And then we keep DPSing. I chose a shield here because, safe than sorry. But since we got Tactician, Holos, Caracol, we basically had a lot of mitigation. I didn't need to really shield there. I could just kept DPS and call it a day, but it doesn't really matter. So here, during this first wave wide up part 2, we got Caracol, Panheima into FFXIV with Pancardia. So I do suggest you Pancardia first, then Caracol, then Panheima, then FFXIV, because that's basically how you do the perfect timing order, but it doesn't really matter. As long as you use it and as long as you get through with it, we should be fine, okay? We should be fine. So here we move a little bit. We use our Plegma for that. We move in. The tank died, so technically I got distracted just by, doing that. And then here, for Muscle Bomb 1, Shield and Caracol. I didn't know why I did not Caracol. I don't know why I didn't. It was kind of cringe for me to not Caracol here. But, hey, building LB is nice, but, it's free to Caracol there just to regen everybody else up. So, yeah, and you don't want to, risk players die if they don't have that much gear. So, that's kind of also bad on my part, but it's okay. Because, nothing bad at building a little bit LB. Nothing more to scare people. Okay? If you know what you're doing. If you don't, then don't risk it. Boom, we move. I shield here because the shield lasts for 30 seconds for everybody else. Of course, the main tank not allowed to have shields because, they're taking auto damage. So I do suggest, Holos, Turchhole, or Soraria to keep tank up. And then you do your Plegma combo into your Caracol and Holos. It's not really a combo, just Plegma, Psych, Caracol, Plegma, Holos. Yeah, it's basically just like that, right? And then boom, now we got Midnight. We do our dodges. We don't have sprint here, so we should be fine. We out the way, boom. And now we got midnight here on this part, so midnight Sabbath. So here I do suggest either using Turtle, Haima on the main tank, but since the warrior got them, I don't have to do that much. So during this part you can use Penhaima with Vices 2, because this part does not do that much damage, but it is good to have the healing right after since we're gonna be split apart. Due to the fact that this girl likes to use sword so much, I'm not sure why, but sometimes if you don't use sword, then it's nice to know that you can heal. And during this part, we have the leftover Penheimer shield with the Zoe shield with the Caracol. Ooh, yes. That means we got good mitigation here. Yep. That's why we use Penheimer there, just to have the extra shield from it, right? Because it's really, really going to stay there. And then, we Zoe shield just to add on the shield, and then Caracol for that raid wide after midnight. Ooh, yes, it was sexy. Very sexy. I'm not going to explain this part because, actually, I'm going to explain this part what to really do if you do have a tank like that. So make sure this main tank is max HP as the Sage. Here, I do suggest using Tarchhole, Haima, and Soraria if you do have it. Otherwise, make sure that this tank does not drop dead. And this tank needs to pop their own cooldowns, by the way, so... yeah, it's free to make them use their cooldowns, but it's also free for you to use your not holos, Haima and a Tarchhole, just to keep them alive. And of course, your Cardia is healing them, so the other healer gotta do something just to make sure they're alive. So boom, we got to this part right here. I shield here because it's free. Free movement, free shields. You Caracol early than that. Don't Caracol that late because you're going to need it for the raid wide, right? Boom. Amazing. That's amazing. The red mage went to grab it and they killed the tank. So, yeah, it's okay though. We got them up. We got them up. We got them up. So Pancardia, in my opinion, is kind of useless for the last part. It's kind of useless, but at the same time, it's like, if you want to really use it for the last part, it's up to you, right? It's not up to me, it's up to you, right? But here, I Zoe Shield and Caracol, but I'm going to keep my Pancardia for the end because, why not? It doesn't hurt to keep it for the end, right? But at least we got enough mitigation for that raid right there. And now we're going to go ahead and do cannons. Yeah, best of luck, everybody else. Move out the way. Make sure you fight Sis 2 here for the regen. Make sure everybody else is also max HP as much as you can, right? Because you don't want nobody else dying from damage, because you can die from damage here, sadly. Boom. And now we're going to go ahead and make sure everybody has a sufficient amount of HP. And now for this last part, make sure you split your mitigation good here, because if you don't, you will die. So here I use Caracol into Holos, and the rest should just use splitting your big cooldowns apart, and you guys should be fine, okay? Otherwise, that's all the healing that I got for Sage. Thank you for watching. Love y'all, and goodbye. Mwah.